morning, fellow scrappers. 39's fine here today. Today we're going to talk about getting the copper out of these small motor armatures. We're going to start out with the fact that I'm going to apologize up front. I'm a little under the weather. I'm at home. I really wasn't planning on making a video, but I missed work yesterday and I ain't there today, and I probably won't be there the rest of the week. I've got bronchitis, so if you hear sniffling, coughing, etc., I do apologize up front. But I filled my copper cell this morning, and I was looking at these little armatures going, I'd really like to scrap these out, but the problem with trying to do these is the glue that's on these things, and you kind of have to incinerate them to burn the glue off, and I didn't want to do that because it is really cold outside. It is the middle of the winter. And then I had a brainstorm, and I'm going to share my little brainstorm with you. Now, this method isn't going to work on all of these small motors. It's going to work on the ones that have a thicker winding like what these have. So, I don't know if it's going to work on this one. I'm going to save that one for the end, and I'm not going to show you me doing all of these. But if you've watched the cordless tool video, where we scrapped out all the cordless tool, these are the armatures out of the electric motors that were in those cordless tools. But, you know, the problem is you end up with the glue here, the glue here, and sometimes there's glue on the bottom of them. But this one here, for example, there's only the glue on the top. The problem is, if you try pulling that copper wire off, it's going to break every time it gets to that glue. The glue is just too thick, too obnoxious. So, right there's the glue in that. But I found a method to take care of that problem. As you can see, I've done a few of them here already, and we're going to kind of do the rest of these. I'll show you a couple of them on camera, and I feel a little better about the results of the copper tool or the cordless tool breakdown. As you'll recall, it did not turn out very well as far as yield goes, but we're going to get some copper out of this, and then I'll feel a little better about that deal too. So let me get set up here, and I'm going to show you what we plan to do here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a couple of these have this plastic on the end of them. That's actually really easy. It's not on there very hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in the vise, take a punch, and just feed it right down the channel here, and just knock those off. And they come off really easily. That's all there is to getting those off. And I've just got a couple of them here that have those on yet. Just a little tappy and they come off. So. Alright, so now that we've got that, all we need to do now is to get the glue out of those areas there so we can go ahead and align these. So let's get set up, and I'll show you an easy way to do that. I'm going to apologize. We're going to have some light glare from this light, but I kind of need that in order to see what I'm doing. But I'm also going to have a fan running here. This is my filtration unit back here. It's just a 20-inch box fan with a furnace filter on it. Keeps me from having to breathe all this dust that comes off of stuff when I use my wire brush. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the wire brush on the grinder. We're just going to get in there and we're going to get the glue off of these spots. And these will peel, if you've watched my blower motor video, just about that easily. So we're going to go ahead. If this gets too loud when I edit this video, I'm just going to turn the volume down. So here we go. Filter on. So, as you can see, the glue is now ground away in there, and we're going to be able to go ahead and just peel these wires out. There's a little residual in there, but that's to be expected. So let's go to the next step. Alright, so now on to the next step. And to make life a little easier, we have our commutator up here, and all those copper wires are attached to the commutator. It's a little easier to peel these off if you can use the commutator to help when you get started. Easy way to do that, because these are small motors, you just take them in the vise and give them a little crush, and there they are. They split right off. So now I've got something to start with to peel that wire, and you'll see it's already starting to come apart. So I'm going to do that with a couple of these here, and then we'll go back to actually peeling that wire off of there. Like I said, there's really nothing to this. Just give it a little crank down with the vise. You can hear it go crunch in there. Well, you'll know you got them, but yep. Just peel those back, and there we go. So now it's just a matter of unwinding them like we did with the blower motor one. So we'll start doing that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with this one here. Now that is an inside wire. I'm just going to clip them off, and then that's all there is to it. And they're going to be a little tough at the get-go, and you don't want to break the wire. That's the key here. If they're a little bit stiff, go ahead and grab a plier and kind of pull with that. But yeah, otherwise It is just a matter of unwinding at this point. Just like we did with the blower motor wire, and it comes off just about easy. Now you'll see that's hooked to that one. So we're going to go ahead and clip him off there. And I clipped that off because I'm going to throw those commutators into a different bucket for when I melt my copper. There is solder on those, and I don't want that in. I do that in a different batch. So, clip that commutator off. So here we have a nice little chunk of wire. And we're going to take the one that we just ended up with and go after the next one. And it really works. I mean, it versus fighting them, burning them, doing all that kind of stuff, makes it really easy to get this copper off. You don't have sooty copper to deal with. Just a little bit on the wire wheel over there to buff that glue off of there, and you can see how easy this is coming apart. There'll be some residual glue left on these. That's, like I said, no big deal. I melt it, so that will burn off in the melt, but now, if they've got the glue way down in there, this is going to be a whole lot more difficult, but these are pretty easy, so they just have. Now, this does not work on, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, like I said, I'm not feeling all that well, but if you have those armatures that have what I like to call angel hair copper on them, very fine, stringy copper, this is not going to be the answer for those. So yeah, there we have it. I'm going to do the rest of this offline, or off camera here, but yeah, we've got, there is our 3 little strands of copper off of this thing. And I'll do the rest of them later. One thing I didn't catch when we were doing the motors, some of these still have, and that appears to be brass. So, there's a magnet here just to be sure, but, no, it's steel. Yeah, it's steel. It's brass colored steel, but. So I'm going to finish up the rest of these, and then we'll go ahead and kind of give you an idea of what we ended up with when we're all said and done. Alright, so we got them all stripped down, except for that DeWalt one. That's not going to work on this project, but yeah. I only had trouble with one of these, and it's because for some odd reason the motor was wound backwards, and I had a tough time getting that one figured out. But yeah, these came apart relatively easy. That's our pile of copper and our bus bars off the armature. Now there is a little bit of that plastic garbage stuck to the back. I'll have to clean that up yet, but I'm done for the day. It's time to go in and take a nap. But beautiful, beautiful pile of copper. And we ended up with 7.5 ounces out of those, so it'll work. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And until the next time, happy scrapping.